Hey, Neil Rowan from Silver Tiger Media. How are you?
Hey man, how's things going? All right, you good?
Great. Awesome. It's brilliant to speak with you again, mate. It seems like forever since we've spoken.
Yeah, I know. Has the old world's been a funny old place, isn't it, since COVID? Yeah,
Absolutely. But, oh, brother, Hailstorming 2017, Download 2019, Slash Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators, the Red Tour last year. Such magnificent memories, but it all seems so long ago. We miss you. We miss you
yeah,
all here.
yeah. We miss Australia too, man. We really love playing there. It's like one of our favourite places to go. And we're especially looking forward to this run of dates that we've got coming up as well, man. Can't
Oh,
wait.
absolutely. Indeed. Look, I've got to grab something here because I've got to get this out of the way. I feel like I'm in the company of genuine royalty. So I've dug out my limited Gibson Dusk Tiger to pay
Wow,
homage to the
look at
first
that
ever
thing.
New Zealand Gibson artist. Man, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Yeah. Wow, that's an awesome looking guitar you've got there. That's amazing.
Oh, very nice. One of only 1,000, my friend. So I feel pretty special.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah, thanks
Oh,
very much. Yeah, I was yeah really stoked to get the accolades and be welcomed into the Gibson family. So yeah, pretty special and pretty lucky, and stoked to be the first person in New Zealand. So
yeah,
pretty special.
obviously, you use your chill self, so you've had time to calm down. But set the scene for me, mate, would you? Where were you when you found out? It must have been so incredibly overwhelming.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it had been in the pipeline for a little while.
Yep.
And I had actually had a guitar on order, and it just sort of came about. Yeah, like that. I was ordering a guitar, and we got chatting to the right people, and it sort of just went from there. Yeah.
Oh, incredible. And how significant have Gibson guitars been for you throughout your attachment to the axe?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've been my go-to. They're my staple point. They're the signature part of my tone. I use them on all my recordings, and I use Les Pauls live, as you've seen over the years. Like that's my stuff. That's my gear.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And how's it been to introduce your custom shop EDS 1275 double neck to audiences? How's that come about on stage? Have been all
Yeah,
right?
well, I mean, we've got what I only just got the guitar towards the end of the last run of dates, so I got to use it on two shows. So
Right.
I've used it twice live. So it sits at home, and I've been playing a lot here to myself, but I can't wait to get out and play it so that the audiences.
Indeed, I thought I'll just change the virtual background there to
Yeah,
advertise what a cool axe it is. And I was blocking out Jenny in the last image, which I must apologise to her for, but never mind. How does it compare to your beloved Les Paul that has brought to life? I mean, so much of the Devilskin catalogue.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And with the new guitar, it's like a fine whiskey. It's just the six string, that the tone that comes out of it is just like it is a real rich, warm, beautiful sounding guitar. I can't wait to I can't wait to get in the studio with it, and I can't wait to perform live with it a bit more.
Oh, absolutely. We can't wait to hear you with it, my friend. And huge congratulations. I mean, what an achievement. So, are you going to bring the EDS 1275 double neck with you to Australia? Because that's kind of a big call. And I reckon, I don't know about you, but I think I would take this along instead. I'd take a fairly basic sort of an SG because it's going to be covered in beer at something like Lagerfest.
Yeah. No, unfortunately, I won't be bringing that guitar with me on this run of dates. I'll be bringing just my standards, like a couple of Les Pauls, and yeah, I'll be bringing those my workhorses with me. But that one will be staying here. Unfortunately, it's just I don't want to travel with it too much. It's like you know what airline people are like with your guitars and stuff, and
Oh,
I couldn't
frightening.
bear myself to open the case and see something damaged on it.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, no, good idea, as well as Lagerfest being a bit of a risk. But I mean, at 11 of 11, of course, I've got to mention that that's Remembrance Day here in Australia. But you'll be kicking off in Auckland at the Powerstation. And then you've
Yeah.
got the 12th to the 11th at Christchurch, which will be absolutely huge. Then jumping over the ditch on the 15th of November at the Triffid in Brisbane, the Manning Bar in Sydney on the 16th, Adelaide, the Froth and Fury Festival. I mean, does it get any better than that? I'm going to ride the Harley to that one on the 18th. And then, of course, we've got the Northcote Theatre in Melbourne on the 19th to the 11th. It should be a sensational run.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole whirlwind, all right. I think there's like 2 days off or 3 days off on the whole thing between jotting in between countries. So it's going to be It's going to be a whirlwind, but I mean, that's touring, man. I can't wait.
Oh,
I
yeah.
absolutely can't wait for the Froth and Fury. I can't wait for all of the shows actually, and we're going to be meeting up with some new friends and getting introduced to some new fans as well. So, bring it on! I say, bring it on.
Oh, absolutely. As you say, you got the halo effect, Beyond the Black, Lagerstein, and of course your
Yeah.
good self, Jenny, Paul, and Nick will be coming out making up Devilskin. But what a lineup! I mean, this will presumably be very untidy. But what are you expecting yourself from Lagerfest? How do you picture this all to unfold?
Look, I've got absolutely no idea. I'll tell you after the first show how things are going to run. It sounds like a hell of a lot of fun to me.
Absolutely. I'm with you 100% there. It really does. And hopefully we'll catch up for a bevy this time, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we will. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. There'd be pirates. I'm sure there'd be pirates with parrots on their shoulders. I don't know what to expect.
God help us. Now, in case people felt that they might not get thoroughly trousered enough just on face value, they're introducing Lagerfest 2023 premium tickets. And I've got to tell you the inclusions, mate. It is general access. You've got Captain's Cocktail Hour with VIP access and 1 hour of early entry and refreshing Lagerfest lager. So that'll be over the top. First access to merch shop, 15% off Lagerfest merch, premium bar, line access, Lagerfest flush. I mean, the list just goes on and on. It's all happening. So if that's enough to get one thoroughly pissed enough to completely forget the gig, I don't know what is.
We'll spend lots on merch, maybe. I don't know.
Exactly, and then leave it all on the floor somewhere. But between that and
Yeah.
the Lagerfest 2023 VIP tickets, it should be an immense time. And of course, people will get the opportunity to have a photo with you with those VIP tickets. So that should be an absolute hoot.
Absolutely. Yeah. Cool, man. I can't wait to meet some new friends over there too.
Oh,
Be
for
great.
sure. As well as your Aussie fan favourites over here, of course. It's presented by Kegstand Productions, Music Management Inc., and our friends at Wall of Sound. So it's not to be missed. Tickets are from www.lagerfest.net. And speaking of not to be missed, man, I have to talk to you about the Red Tour. You tried again and again. I spoke to Paul. I said to Paul, look, you keep missing interviews with me, and that's why it keeps getting cancelled, obviously. But eventually we got the wheels on it uninterrupted. It must have been so frustrating, though, when you're trying to get the Red album on tour and COVID just kept getting in the way.
Yeah. To be honest, when that record was coming out, we had a whole European run of dates booked, and we were flying out the following week, and we were watching the news, and I was going, oh, maybe we just won't be going. Doesn't look too good in Europe. Maybe we just won't go to, maybe we just won't go to Germany because it doesn't look too good in Germany. And then maybe we just won't go to Germany and Italy, because it's maybe we just won't go to Germany, Italy, and Spain, but we'll tour the UK. And then it was just like, oh, let's just go and do a UK tour. And then, like, in the space of like 3 or 4 days, this stuff had just spread through the whole continent. And it was just like, dude, we've got to call it. We put 3 years worth of work into recording the record. And it was coming out that week, so we were pretty bummed out, man. And that was pretty gutting. So we had to put everything on we didn't even have a New Zealand tour booked at that stage.
Yeah.
So we're like, wow, we better do something before we get shut down here. So that's what we did here. So we did the national tour through New Zealand, and then eventually got to Australia after cancelling, postponing a bunch of times because of restrictions and the pandemic. It was just. But thank God all that's behind us now, and we can actually cross the ditch and catch up with some of our friends and family over there and go and tear it up and make up for some lost time, right?
Oh, absolutely agreed. I mean, and finally the gigs did take place, as you say. How was it to actually stand in front of the crowd finally and go, right, we can actually play?
I was a bit nervous, to be fair, because it had been a few years since we had played. So it was like, what do you do? Like, it was just, nah, it's like riding a bike, man. We just jumped straight back on it and got in there. Got our hands dirty.
And how was Shepherd's Rain? I mean, was it fun to take them on tour?
Yeah, they're a good bunch of boys, eh? Yeah, and it was really cool to take them to Australia as well. Bit of an introduction for them. They'd never been to Australia and toured over there before. So, no, they're good boys. And they're out on tour at the moment as well, too. So they're doing well.
Absolutely. Any embarrassing stories you'd like to share, privately, just with me and the rest of the world?
just you, the rest of the world. No, we're all like we're all very model citizens when we're on tour. Yeah,
Of
cups
course.
of tea and lie down and in bed early.
I'll believe you, mate, even if thousands wouldn't. And here you come back in November to your Aussie fan faithful, and we can't wait. Mate, do you feel the love when you get here? Do you feel welcome?
Yeah, absolutely. As soon as you step off the plane, there's so many expats. Like every city you go to in Australia, there's a bunch of Kiwis. Somebody knows somebody from somewhere. So it's just cool, man. It's like family wherever you go.
Oh, brilliant stuff. And has it become over the years a favourite aspect of touring Australia for you? Is there something you personally like to do or get out there and see?
Well, I think when we get to wherever we're going, I always try to get out of the hotel. I can't speak for everybody else, but I always try to have as much of a look around the city as I can with the limited amount of time. Obviously, on this run of dates, there are like no days off,
Yeah,
so
nothing.
like I won't be getting out much. I'll be trying to sleep in a corner somewhere probably to catch up. But absolutely, when we're touring, I always try and get out and have a look around and see, because you're not there very often. It's not something that you do every day, so it is, it's important to get out and have a look around.
Oh, absolutely. And hopefully you will get a run where you get those days off and we can go to a winery in South Australia, Paul Stanley style, and just live it up. But
That sounds good. Hey,
mate, oh, it'd be a thing, it really would. We're thrilled that you're returning to kick our ass Devilskin style again. And there's plenty of magnificent music videos out there for people to sort of whet their palate in anticipation as always. But I don't know. I think the best way to prepare is to spin your most recent album, Red, to get ready. It's such a phenomenally brilliant album. You must be so proud of it.
yeah, we are. It was some of our best work to date, actually, that record, and we're immensely proud of the work that we put into the record and how it came out as well. And
Mm.
and we're actually really really proud of the stuff that we're writing at the moment because that's what we've been doing a lot of lately. We've been writing a lot of music and rehearsing some new stuff. So who knows? We might play some new stuff when we get to Australia. We'll have to see, I suppose.
That was my very next question, my friend. So thank you very much for whetting the appetite. That's brilliant. And of course, there was nothing wrong whatsoever. We Rise, Be Like the River, brilliant albums in themselves, but Reed just took it to a whole new level. Do you think that it might be soon that you could be back in the studio?
Yeah, we are probably going to be in the studio before the end of the year, actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah,
That is good news. Brilliant.
yeah,
And
yeah. We're going to tear it. Sorry.
sorry, my friend, go ahead.
No, we're not waiting any longer. We're into it. Yeah, we're charging
Oh,
ahead.
wonderful stuff. And with such an awesome catalogue at hand, how do you go about creating a set list? Does it sort of depend on the gig, or do you more rely on what tracks are being most loudly celebrated as a guide? How do you come up with that set list?
God, it's so tough, man. It's so hard. It's like trying to remove one of your kids from a list. Like they're all your children, and it's just like you've got to pick one. It's like impossible. And we've all got favorites, and everybody wants that song, and I'd like this song, and then we've got the sort of standard ones that go in most set lists
Yep.
because those are the ones that are just the ones that have been on the radio or the ones we've done videos for. So there's a few that always sort of in, but it's good to do a few different ones as well. So it's actually really really tough. Writing a set list is pretty tough. But
Oh,
we've got a real fun set list that we're bringing to Australia for this Lagerfest. I'm looking
look, I
forward.
can think of a couple that will send beer flying left, right, and centre. But is there a couple of standout songs that send your Aussie fans absolutely nuts?
Seeing the Aussies nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah, oh, yeah, they like some of the faster ones, eh?
yeah. Yeah, indeed. We'll try and hold our beer still, but it's not going to work. The floor's going to be covered. Favorite track to play live? What's one of your all-time favorites to really push out to the crowd? Almost like, as you say, one of your children introducing a child, watching it take its first steps on stage. What's one of your favorite tracks to play live?
Favorite tracks to play live, and it's not necessarily like a crowd favorite song. It's like personal favorite of mine. I think it's got to be Eyes Red Heavy.
Right.
You know, yeah,
Good
I
call.
really enjoy playing that song live. I don't know why. Um,
Mm.
it's just I think it's just the dynamics in the song. How it go through lulls, and then obviously there's a big guitar solo in it, and it's a real fun song to play. I really enjoy playing that song.
Oh, mate, that track to me from a guitar point of view is just life. The highs, the lows, the whole bit. It's no wonder it's a favourite to play live. It's brilliant. And
Yeah, thanks.
I've got to ask you, how do we compare to our brothers and sisters across the ditch as an audience? Are we just as loud, raucous, and thoroughly metal as our Kiwi cousins?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. We've got a pretty staunch following back here in New Zealand,
Yep.
and it's equally as staunch when we go to Australia. I mean, the people like the Australian crowd that have seen us before are awesome, and it's also good to get introduced to some new ones as well. So
Indeed. Okay. So the first ever Gibson endorsed New Zealand artist with multi-award winning and internationally celebrated band. What has been your most significant gig? One where you've thought, holy hell, this is it. We've made it.
Gee, that's a tough question.
It is a tough one.
I think it's got to be any number of those shows that we did with Slash and Miles Kennedy that run of dates. For me, like I grew up listening to his music, and I still listen to Slash, but I grew up listening to that stuff and watching him play Les Paul, and like the Marshall Gibson tone thing, and and to be standing on the stage with the guy, and you know it's just, I think, there's a few times on that tour where I really had to pinch myself and go, is this actually really happening? And they're such
Absolutely.
sweet people, like they're just really, really nice people. And like, it was a really good introduction into major touring with a major artist and how that family and how that whole scene works, and it was really good to be invited into their world and be part of it as well. So I think for me, that's probably got to be one of the highlights of my career. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, well said. Brilliantly put. And I've got to agree with you. What fantastic people. I've spent a lot of time, I think, with yourself as well, with Todd Kearns. I mean, what a gentleman. It's just the whole camp were just brilliant and so just so kind to everybody. It's brilliant. But look, Neil, I realise you're pressed for time, mate. It is so great to catch up with you again. It's been way too long. We can't wait to see you back over here and performing. Thank you very much for your time today.
No problem at all. It's been my pleasure. We'll have a beer when we get there, all right? Definitely.
That sounds great. Brilliant. Please pass on our best to Jennie, Paul, and Nick, and we can't wait to see you again. Until November, be safe, my friend.
Perfect, man. Thank you. We'll see you soon, eh?
No worries, mate.
Cheers.